Hello and welcome everybody to my channel Omni Bio Entrance, and today we will be seeing University of Hyderabad MSc Entrance Examination conducted for the subject Plant Biology and Biotechnology. I will be discussing only the biology part. They have asked some chemistry questions which I am not attempting. So this was conducted in the year 2014. So coming to the first question. Which of the following is not the function of carotenoids in chloroplast? Provide coloration to plastid, act as accessory pigment, protect chlorophyll from photooxidation, make pigment protein complex. So the answer is provide coloration to plastid. That is not a function of carotenoids. Then alpha D glucose and beta D glucose they are called as anomers. Answer is option C. Terpenoid lipids are part of cell membranes of. So terpenoid lipids are part of cell membrane of archaea. Answer is option B. Author of binomial system of nomenclature. He was Linnaeus, Carolus Linnaeus. Answer is option A. Then how many EDTA molecules are required to make an octahedral complex with Ca2 positive ion? So one EDTA molecule is enough. Answer is option C. Dipicolinic acid is associated with bacterial. So that is associated with bacterial endospores. It's found in endospores. The study of the distribution of plants and animals across the earth. It is called as biogeography. Answer is option C. Chrysolaminarin is a storage product of some. So chrysolaminarin is a storage product of diatoms, and diatoms is not given in your options, but algae is given. Since diatoms are algae, option A can also be correct. Then next one. Which of the following species of Plasmodium do not cause malaria? Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale. All these cause malaria. So none of the above is the answer. One of the following is not a food preservative. Identify. So it is caprylic acid, that is not a food preservative. Answer is option B. A large scale grouping that includes many communities of a similar nature. So it is called as the biome. It's a large scale which include many communities, and the communities are of similar nature, so it is a biome. The product of nitrogen fixation, it is ammonia. Ammonia is the product of nitrogen fixation. Answer is option. Then next one. All these are direct questions, that's why I am not giving much explanation. Which of the following is not found in an active chromosome? So active chromosome in DNA, proteins and RNA, they are found in an active chromosome, but lipids are not found in active chromosome. Answer is option D. The study of how organisms interact with each other and their physical environment is called as new system. Sorry. So it is called as new system. Answer is option B. The product of assimilatory and dissimilatory nitrate reduction are. So it is ammonia for both assimilatory and dissimilatory nitrate reduction. Answer is option D. Lateral meristem in plant. Now this is a repeated question. It is called the cambium. Answer is option D. Then next one. Roots that develop from the stem following the death of primary root are known as. This is also a repeated question. It's known as adventitious root. Then next one. The blood group in human beings is determined by alleles, namely A, B and O. The possible number of genotypes for the observed phenotypes are. So what are the possible number of genotypes is? There are 6 possible number of genotypes for the observed phenotypes. That is, for A blood group you can have capital A and capital A and O. Similarly, for B blood group you can have capital B, small b, capital B and capital B and O. Then you have got the AB blood group, that is capital A, capital B and capital O, capital O. So the answer is option C, that is 6. Then Lieberman-Burchardt reagent, acetic anhydride, H2SO4 and chloroform is used for the analysis of, cholesterol, and cholesterol is a sterol. So answer is option A, that is sterol. Identify the odd combination of microbial interaction. So mutualism, photocooperation and commensalism. Mutualism, photocooperation, commensalism, all these three are positive interactions. Okay, so they belong to the same group. Now comes predation, parasitism, amensalism. All the three are negative interaction. So they all belong to the same group. Then option C is parasitism, amensalism and competition. They are also negative type of interaction. So that is also coming under one group. Then next one, mutualism, amensalism, commensalism. All are not negative interaction and all are not positive interaction. Mutualism is positive interaction, amensalism is negative interaction and commensalism is also positive interaction. So they are the odd combination of microbial interaction. So answer is option D. The next one, the processes for the biosynthesis of pyrimidine are, or they are not, it might be a printing mistake, it might be precursors. So glutamate and carbamoyl phosphate. Answer is option D. The full form of FPLC. FPLC is fast protein liquid chromatography. Answer is option C. The original genetic code of DNA cannot be figured out from the polypeptide chain because, so the original genetic code of DNA cannot be figured out from the polypeptide chain. So the DNA is getting converted into protein and they are telling that from polypeptide chain you cannot come to know about the original genetic code of DNA or the sequence of the bases in the exon region of the DNA cannot be figured out from the polypeptide chain. Why? Because of redundancy of the genetic code. Answer is option B. Then Protestant division includes the diatoms that is referred to as golden brown algae are. They are chrysophytes. Answer is option B. The process of determining the age of a tree or wood used in structures by counting the number of annual growth rings. It is called as dendrochronology. This is also a repeated question. Answer is option D. Term applied to plants having separate male and female plants. It is called as dioecious. Answer is option D. The disappearance of all individuals group is called. It is called as extinction. Answer is option D. Then brown accessory pigment found in and characteristic of brown algae, that is fucoxanthin. Answer is option A. Recently declared biosphere reserve in Andhra Pradesh. It is Sheshachalam Hills. Answer is option C. Subject that study the factors that affect the earth and air pollution is termed as. It is called dendroecology. Answer is option B. An abandoned, idled or polluted site is called. This is also a repeated question. Answer is brownfield. Answer option C. Grain is a simple fruit characterized as. So it is characterized as caryopsis. Answer is option C. All these are direct questions. So coming to the next question. The relationship between gene and enzyme was first suggested by the discovery of. So it was by the discovery of inborn error of metabolism in human. Answer is option A. Tobacco belongs to the family. It belonged to the family Solanaceae. Answer is option C. The substrate for peroxisomal photorespiration is. So the substrate is glycolate. Answer is option B. The male gametophyte liberated from the anther usually contains, it can contain either 2 cells or 3 cells, because pollen grain may be released at 2 cell stage, that is 1 vegetative and 1 generative cell, or 3 cell stage, that is 1 vegetative cell and 2 male gametes. So the answer can be either B or C. I don't have the answer key with me, so as per me it can be B or C. Then scales are modified. They are modified leaves. So answer is option A. The next one. Euglena belongs to Protista. The next one. Identify the statements that are true for plasmids and choose the most appropriate answer. So F plasmids enable bacterial conjugation. That's correct. Plasmids carry essential genes for survival of the organism. Yes, you can find antibiotic resistance gene and all in plasmids. So they carry essential genes for the survival of organism. That is also correct. Plasmids are found only in bacteria and not in eukaryotes. You can see plasmid present in yeast, which is a eukaryote. So that is a wrong statement. Then some plasmids called episomes can integrate into the host chromosome. That is also correct. So answer is B, 1, 2 and 4. The biggest flower in plant kingdom is of, so it is of Rafflesia. Answer is option A. Then pyrenoids contain proteins. Answer is option A. Boraginaceae is included in the order. So it is Boraginaceae is included in the order Boraginales, but that is not given in the option. Okay. The next one. During photosynthesis, water is oxidized primarily with the help of. So with the help of pigment system too, water is primarily oxidized. The spice cinnamomum is obtained from. So it is obtained from the bark of the tree. Answer is option C. Then next one. Match the name of the scientist in panel A with their contributions in panel B and choose the correct answer. So Walter Sutton discovered the chromosomal basis of heredity. So A3. So C and D are given as A1 and A2 respectively, and we will not take those options, that is C and D, into consideration. We will see for A and B. Then Stanley Cohen discovered rDNA. That is answer is option B, A. B is I. Then Thomas Hunt Morgan discovered the phenomenon of linkage. So C4. So option A is going to be the right answer. But we will see the other one also. That is Alfred Sturtevant. He developed the first genetic map of a chromosome. So A3, B1, C4 and D2. That gives option A as the correct answer. Cloves is obtained from. So it is obtained from unopened flower bud. That is cloves. Answer is option C. The characteristic order of ripe tomato is due to. So it is due to lycopene. Answer is option B. Which of the following plant organ is the main site of transpiration? So it is the leaf that is the main site of transpiration. Answer is option D. Which of the following ions is an integral part of the enzyme cytochrome oxidase? So copper is an integral part of the enzyme cytochrome oxidase. Answer is B. Leaf tendrils are found in. So leaf tendrils are found in Clematis, gloriosa and Pisum. So all of the above are correct. An example of non-protein amino acid. So here it is cannavanine, that is a non-protein amino acid, whereas others are proteinaceous amino acid. So answer is option B. Then DCMU or diuron is an inhibitor of photosynthetic. So it is an inhibitor of photosynthetic electron flow. DCMU block electron transfer between first quinone electron acceptor and second quinone electron acceptor on the reducing side of pigment system 2. And what does this lead to? This lead to the interrupts the photosynthetic electron transport chain in photosynthesis and thus reduces generation of oxygen from splitting of water molecules via the pigment system too. So DCMU or diuron is an inhibitor of photosynthetic electron flow. Triploid watermelons contain, so they contain less number of seeds but called seedless. Okay, so answer is option B. Environmental protection and reclamation using plants is called, it is called as phytoremediation. Answer is B. Viviparous mutant arise due to deficiency of abscisic acid. This was repeated twice in 2 different years, this question. Then next one. Match the gene mutation indicated in the panel A with the description given in panel B. Choose the correct answer. Missense mutation. Missense mutation is results in a codon that codes for a different amino acid, so that the polypeptide chain itself is going to be either non-functional. Okay, so that is the case of a missense mutation that codes for a different amino acid, but it will retain, or else the protein, the polypeptide chain that results in codon that codes for a different amino acid may be showing different properties from the normal. Then nonsense mutation. So nonsense mutation is convert a codon into a stop codon. So A3B2. That will be okay. That will be option D will be correct. Then frame shift mutation, it disrupts the triplet reading frame. Insertion of a codon or deletion of one particular codon, it will disrupt the triplet reading frame. So that is frame shift mutation. Then option D, that is silent mutation. Silent mutation do not cause a change in the amino acid sequence, unlike the missense mutation. Okay, so the silent mutation, even if you change, even if there is a mutation, it may code for, suppose phenylalanine code for UUU, it is changed to UUC, then both of the codons are coding for the same phenylalanine. So they do not cause a change in the amino acid sequence, even though there is a change in the DNA sequence. So that is silent mutation. So answer is option D, that is A3, B2, C1 and D4. Mycorrhizae do not fix nitrogen, facilitate nutrient absorption, receive organic compounds from the host plants, form a symbiotic relationship with plants. So mycorrhizae, they do not fix nitrogen, they facilitate nutrient absorption, they receive organic compounds from their host plants and form a symbiotic relationship with plant. All the 3 options, that is B, C, D are correct, whereas they do not fix nitrogen. Which of the following is not present in plant cells? So centriole is absent from the plant cells. They are present in animal cells. That is also a repeated question. The next one. The chemical signal from roots to nitrogen fixing microbes in the rhizosphere is believed to be. So it is flavonoid. That is the chemical signal from roots to nitrogen fixing microbes in the rhizosphere. The chemical signal is nothing but flavonoid. Then taxa distributed to restricted region or area are called. So they are called as endemic. They are restricted to region or area are called endemic. Then what is holotype? Holotype, a single physical example of an organism known to have been used when the species was formerly described. What is ecotype? A distinct form or race of a plant or animal species occupying a particular habitat. And biotype, a group of organisms having an identical genetic constitution. That is biotype. Then, which plant cell corresponds functionally to primary spermatocyte? So the microspore mother cell or microsporocyte, both are diploid cells with the capacity to divide meiotically. Corresponds functionally to primary spermatocyte is microspore mother cell, because primary spermatocyte and microspore mother cell are diploid cells with the capacity to divide meiotically. So the answer is microspore mother cell. There are 40 chromosomes in a somatic cell of a house mouse. How many autosomes are present in the somatic cell of the female mouse? So they have asked for the number of somatic cells. So that will be 40 in both male and female. There is no differentiation between male and female with regards to the chromosome number. So answer is option C, that is 40. Removal of male organ from a hermaphrodite flower is referred to as. It is called as emasculation. Answer is B. Then, the characteristic of panmictic population is. So, panmictic population is large size, random mating, allelic equilibrium. So, all of the above are characteristic of a panmictic population. Answer is option D. 4 chromosome synapse into a cross-shaped configuration during meiotic prophase, then the organism is heterozygous for. So the 4 chromosome synapse into a cross-shaped configuration during meiotic prophase, and the organism is heterozygous for. It is heterozygous for translocation. Answer is option C. Alternative forms of a cistron that differ at the same nucleotide site are referred to as. So the alternative forms of a cistron that differ at the same nucleotide site are referred to as homoalleles. Answer is option B. Then next one. Which of the following, match the following and choose the correct answer given below. Inbred. Inbred is cross-pollinated plant progeny. Answer is 1D. So C might be the answer. Okay, we'll see. Pure line, to self-pollinated plant progeny. Then clone. Clone is vegetatively propagated plants. They all have the same genetic makeup. Then hybrid. Hybrid is first filial progeny, F1 progeny. So answer is option C, that is 1D, 2C, 3A, 4B. Male bees are known to develop without fertilization of the eggs and are haploid. The condition is described as, it is called as erinotoky. Answer is option B. The physiologically receptive state in which a bacterial cell is able to be transformed is called. So it is called as the competent state. So that is the physiologically receptive state in which the bacterial cell can be transformed with the DNA. So that stage is called as the bacteria is called as the, at that stage is called as competent. Answer is option A. Then next one. 2 breeding stalks of pea plant are crossed. One parent has red axial flowers and the other has white terminal flowers. All F1 individuals have red axial flowers. If 1600 F2 offspring resulted from the cross, approximately how many of them would you expect to have red terminal flowers? Assume independent assortment. So they have told that F1, that when two parents, that is red axial flowers and white terminal flowered parents are crossed, the F1 individual have red axial flowers, and they have told it is independent assortment. So the red axial is the dominant character that appears in the F1 when you have independent assortment. So red color with axial flowers is the dominant characteristic. So the red axial parent will be capital R and capital A, and the white terminal flowers will be small r and small a. So you will get red axial in the F1 generation. Now what they have told is, if 1600 F2 offspring result from the cross, approximately how many of them would you expect to have red terminal flowers? So next what you are doing is you are crossing, selfing the F1 to get the F2. So you will get the ratio of 9:3:3:1. That is the dihybrid ratio that you are getting as in the case of Mendel's independent assortment experiment. So you will get 9 red axial, 3 red terminal, 3 white axial and 1 white terminal. So they have told that if 1600 F2 offsprings resulted from the cross, approximately how many of them would you expect to have red terminal flowers? So out of this 16 F2 individual, you have got 3 which are red terminal flowers. So out of 16, 3 will be red terminal flowers. So out of 1600, how many will be red terminal flowers? That will be 300. So answer is option C, that is 300. Then next one. Punnett square shows all of the following except the all possible results of a genetic cross. That is correct. The genotypes of the offspring. That is also correct. The alleles in the gametes of each parent. That is also correct. The actual result of the genetic cross. It doesn't give the actual result of the genetic cross. It only gives the possible results of a genetic cross. So answer is option D. Then, which of the following describes the overall three-dimensional folding of a polypeptide? So, it is the tertiary structure that describes the three-dimensional folding of a polypeptide. So, answer is option C. Which part of amino acids are involved in the peptide bond? So, the amino group of one amino acid with the carboxyl group of the other are involved in peptide bond formation. So, answer is option C. An example of monosaccharide. So fructose is an example of monosaccharide, whereas lactose, sucrose and maltose are disaccharides. The sugar in RNA is dash, the sugar in DNA is dash. So the sugar in RNA is ribose, whereas sugar in DNA is deoxyribose. So answer is option B. RNA is ribonucleic acid and DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So sugar in RNA is ribose, whereas DNA is deoxyribose. Then a glycosidic bond in DNA and RNA connect the sugar to the base, can be hydrolyzed by OH minus ion, stabilize Watson-Crick hydrogen bonds, are free to rotate over about 180 degrees. So the glycosidic bond is linked from sugar with any of the 4 nitrogenous bases using the enzyme glycosylase. And it is a type of covalent linkage that is found either in DNA or RNA. So it connects the sugar to the base. So answer is option A. Then a nucleotide consists of, this is also a repeated question, a sugar, a base and a phosphate. Not only for this particular Hyderabad University entrance, but I have seen for other entrance exams also that this particular question, either nucleotide or nucleoside, is being asked. Okay, then which one of the following does not apply to an enzyme? So catalyst, inorganic, protein, active. So it is active site that it is inorganic that does not apply to an enzyme. Okay, answer is option B. So coming to the next question, it was important that Mendel examined not just the F1 generation in his breeding experiments, but the F2 generation as well, because he obtained very few F1 progeny, making statistical analysis difficult. So that is correct. Parental traits were not observed in the F1, reappeared in the F2, suggesting that the traits did not truly disappear in the F1. That is also true. Analysis of the F1 progeny would have allowed him to discover the law of segregation but not the law of independent assortment. So that is also true. So all of the above are true. When an enzyme catalyzes a reaction, substrate binds in the active site, product bind in the active site, the shape of the enzyme remains unchanged, the enzyme is consumed by the reaction. So substrate bind to its active site is correct. Answer is option A. What is not true of chlorophyll and other accessory pigments in plants? Plant pigments absorb solar energy. Chlorophyll provides electrons that will be used to produce ATP. Chlorophyll absorbs light of specific wavelength. Chlorophyll is packed in thylakoid membrane. So the chlorophyll provides electrons that will be used to produce ATP is correct. The chlorophyll obtains electrons from water, producing oxygen as a byproduct. During the electron transport process, H plus is pumped across the thylakoid membrane and the resulting electrochemical proton gradient drive the synthesis of ATP in the stroma. So that is so option B is correct because chlorophyll does not provide the electrons. The will obtain its electrons from water producing oxygen as a byproduct. Okay. So answer is B. Then what organisms are capable of photosynthesis? So plants, algae and some bacteria. So answer is option D. All the three are capable of photosynthesis. Then next one, which step in glycolysis requires the input of energy? The glucose priming step, the phosphorylation of glucose, the phosphorylation of fructose 6-phosphate. So all of these steps requires input of energy. Answer is option D. Then next, in Drosophila melanogaster, the genes A and B are linked. Flies of genotype capital A, B, capital A, capital B and small a, small b are crossed and F1 obtained. The F1 allele arrangement is called. So, dominant allele of two or more genes are present in one chromosome and its recessive allele in its homologue, then this is called as coupling. So, after the F1 allele arrangement is called as coupling because here the genotype, that is capital A, capital B and small a, small b are present in different chromosomes, and when they come together, that is after crossing, you get the F1, it will have capital A, capital B, small b, and it will be in the cis arrangement. So answer is option C, that is coupling, because genes dominant allele of one is present, dominant allele of two or more genes are present in one chromosome, whereas its recessive allele is present in the other homologue. So this is an example of coupling. Then match the parental genotype crosses in panel A to the offspring phenotypic ratio in panel B. So homozygous recessive X into homozygous recessive. So you will get all recessive phenotypes. So A4. So B and A can be ruled out. We will see for A, that is 4. C and D. Okay, we'll see the next options also. Homozygous recessive into heterozygous. So homozygous recessive and heterozygous, you will get dominant phenotype to recessive phenotype in the 1:1 ratio. So B3. So option C will be the answer, but we'll see for the others also. Heterozygous into heterozygous. So dominant phenotypes to recessive phenotype in the 3:1 ratio. If you remember the Mendelian principle of segregation, the monohybrid cross. So it was capital T, capital small t into capital T, small t. You will get in the ratio 3:1. Then homozygous dominant into homozygous recessive, all dominant phenotypes. So A4, B3, C1 and D2. Then the major site of anaerobic respiration within the plant cell is. So anaerobic respiration in plants produce ethanol and carbon dioxide, and the major site is cytoplasm. Answer is option C. So that's it. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching my channel.